Hey, remember back in May when the FBI raided FIFA and police yanked corrupt soccer officials out of their 5-star Zurich hotel? That was great. So you may have been confused this week when FIFA President Sepp Blatter announced he would not be stepping down as president of FIFA. Like, wait, didn't he step down in May? No, he said he would step down when FIFA holds an election in February. But wait, if he didn't resign in May and he's not seeking re-election, why would he re-announce he's not resigning? Turns out Switzerland has opened a criminal investigation of Blatter regarding, in part, a 2011 payment of $2 million. Switzerland, man! Switzerland's whole thing is not getting involved, and even they're like, buddy, we gotta investigate you here. Anyway, that $2 million payment was to UEFA chief Michel Platini. And in case you're new here, UEFA is the European Soccer Association that's occasionally at odds with FIFA, and Platini is a former French player who A, helped Blatter get elected in 2011, and B, is running to be Blatter's successor. So, a little bit at stake for him here. Now, according to Platini, the payment was for work he did for Blatter from 1998 to 2002, when, he says, FIFA didn't have enough funds to pay him, even though FIFA reported a revenue surplus of $83 million at the time. So, why would Blatter have given Platini a large sum of money in 2011? Well, it just so happens Platini was running for FIFA president against Blatter in 2011. That is, until he received his back payment for work done 9 years previous. Yeah, that's it. Back payment. Now, if you're having a hard time caring about these toadstool-shaped Europeans trading sacks of cash, I don't blame you. Financial crime is super boring. I couldn't even carve out 90 minutes to watch Too Big to Fail, and that's a story that actually affected me and my entire country. So how are we supposed to care about some white-collar crooks in Europe? It's not like they're killing people, except they kind of are. Conservative estimates suggest that at least 4,000 immigrant workers will die in Qatar while building the stadiums and infrastructure necessary to host the 2022 World Cup. Those workers are living in squalor, working long hours in unforgiving heat, and are basically de facto slaves until Qatar sees fit to grant them exit visas. This human suffering is a direct result of FIFA's decision to hand the 22 World Cup to Qatar, even though the World Cup is held in the summer and Qatar's bid was built on the promise of a revolutionary air cooling system that hadn't been invented yet. And bribes.
I witnessed the Qatari team offering to different EXCO members money in exchange for their vote.
Lots of bribes. And 5 years later, that miracle air conditioning system still hasn't been invented. So now we get a World Cup in December to go with our 4,000 dead human beings. Thanks, FIFA. Hey, but at least the 2018 World Cup will be in Russia, which has a sparkling human rights record and no history of large-scale sporting events gummed up by systemic fraud and bribery. Woo! I swear, every goddamn story about FIFA is this stupid and brazen. And now they're gonna have the balls to sell us on reform? F you! FIFA doesn't need to be reformed, it needs a bullet in the back of the head. And it can be done. 90% of FIFA's income results from the World Cup. So if you kill the appeal of the World Cup, you'll kill FIFA. The answer? A coordinated secession of key soccer nations and the creation of a new organization similar to what the Premier League did in 1990 to score that big new television contract. This isn't that far-fetched of an idea. As recently as last year, the president of German soccer threatened that all 54 UEFA countries could quit FIFA. And seeing as how over 75% of World Cup players play their club soccer in UEFA countries, and the 2022 World Cup is going to interfere with UEFA's Golden Goose, the Champions League, the threat of a UEFA secession is real, and it would cripple FIFA. But we don't want to cripple FIFA. We want to burn that mother to the ground. So let's add Japan, China, Brazil, and the United States to that secession, and now we've got more than 50% of the global World Cup audience weighted by GDP. That secession would create a mass exodus from FIFA, and whatever new global soccer federation came from that alliance can host a new World Cup, under a different name, of course, in the summer of 2022, when the World Cup is supposed to be played. And tell you what, world, America will do you the solid of hosting it on short notice. We've already got the stadium and infrastructure and all that stuff. God, I hope that happens. And I hope Sepp Blatter lives long enough to see it happen. Preferably from the inside of a jail cell.